Hello, welcome to the first round of the brand new season. March of the Machines just came out. So this week is a light splash of brand new featured cards. Next week we'll be getting more in depth because at that point, hopefully Mana Traders has the cards and we're able to record with a lot more options, right? So today we're going to be featuring a deck that I played recently last season. It's one of my pet decks, and the new card is going to be Collective Nightmare. Now, you definitely could play Pylon in this slot, but I think this deck might be awesome. And it's Jund, not Gruul. I also think I featured Naya, but now we're going to try Jund. There is some paint. There is some treasure-like synergies in this color combination. So I'm excited to try Jund Graaz. So, surprise. That is the deck we're featuring today. And if you guys like this kind of content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and don't forget to check out in the description below where there's a link to my Discord channel. Join it if you want to, and let's get into the deck list. So as you can see, I'm going to be running 3 copies of Collective Nightmare, along with 3 chords. I'm also going to try Kalleen, which I think is actually pretty cool because it's an alternative way to win the game, because most of our creatures are relatively small. So it's kind of nice to be able to pay our treasures into something, make it bigger, so that way we can attack and maybe get it outside of stomp range or small burn spells, right? I think this type of removal is perfect because Convoke works very good with Magda. At one point I might want to try like a dwarf variant, but for now I'm going to keep going down this path. I think Karn is mainly for the grinding matchups. We have another one on the board in case you face control. We have 3 Stone Brains and 3 Unlicensed Hearse. Both of these could be tutored with Magda, so we should be able to find it in the matchups that are necessary. We have a Heroic Intervention to protect our threats. We have a Shaper Sanctuary for the Rakdos mid-range matchup. We have Volley for Grease Fang as well as Mono White Spirits. And then we have Portal to Phyrexia for mid-range decks, right? So we could bring this in, make them sack their 3 things on the board, hopefully get in, get frisky. So that's the idea. Court of Calling helps us get Magda. So we have Ezekiel's Chariot, Fable, pretty solid mid-range pieces. So that is our deck for today. And I'm also going to be featuring 3 other decks, I think 3 other decks this week. I'm going to try to do as much as I can this week to amp up for the brand new season. All of them are going to be sweet decks that feature a card or 2. Most of them are going to all be featuring uncommons because they're the cheapest of the cards for me to be able to purchase and play. So, and I can run the rest of the deck. So next week we'll get heavy into the rares and mythics. I'm definitely going to be featuring Abzan mid-range next week with Siege Rhino and the brand new Thalia and Gitrog monster. So I'm super excited about trying that list. That list is probably one of the more competitive lists that we featured right out of the gate this season. So let's get into the gameplay. Thoughtseize. Figured it was gonna be a Thoughtseize. This might be Grease Fang, which is very problematic. Takes my 1-drop, so it saves me 2 life while shocking himself. Blooming Marsh. We won't reveal that's what we drew. We'll play that tapped. Ague. Overgrown Tomb. This is most likely Grease Fang, like I said. Very boring. You know, it is one of the best decks in the format, so it makes sense that this is going to be the deck we're going to have to beat, which is going to really showcase if we can beat this deck, the power level of this deck, because this is essentially a tier 1 deck. Another Collective Nightmare. So we put this on black. Play Kalleen. Ague. We do need to find creatures. It would be ideal. But I am actively worried that just a Grease Fang is coming right now. We do have a lot of sideboard options for this matchup, though. Temple Garden, untapped. There it is. So 1, 2, I'm so 1 mana off. I just don't know if we're able to recover from this. He's going to get him for 7. Hits us down to 13. I don't have a choice. Stalwart, that's kind of a free card, so we'll play it. So I can't do 2 of them. All right, pass the turn. I assume he's just gonna play the land and a Chariot. Wayfinder. Watch him find Parhelion. All right, we got lucky. Play the tap Gauntlet Shrine. Duress. Sure, taking one of my mini nightmares. I don't think I'm worried about Greasefang here, so you could definitely get frisky with everything. So if I tap 3, kill here, is that good? Taking 6-9. Let's go ahead and kill the Greasefang. Take our beats. We're not in a great position at all. Oh my god, we drew another land. Alright, I think that just does it. Yeah, we did not put that together. Alright, so we bring in Unlicensed Hearse and Volley. Karn doesn't seem great when we have to win very relatively early. Could probably go down a Cord, a Innkeeper. You could just go down all the Innkeepers, run it like that. Stomping Grounds, tap, go. I'm worried about this hand. I had a mulligan down to 5. The second, the 6th card hand was very light threat, so like Thoughtseize would have picked it apart. And the first hand didn't have that many lands. Stitcher Supplier for the opponent. I would like to see a land off the top or a Volley. That is a castable threat. Sentinel, a Geo. Wait, the Temple Garden tapped and passes. Copperline Gorge. That's perfect. We have 3 green, pay an extra. I think I Fable here. He has nothing in the yard, so I'm not really worried right now. So even he does play Greasefang, it's not over. Plays a Thicket. Evolution. Oh my god, that's like the perfect situation if he... Nope. We got lucky. No, there is not a single vehicle. Satyr Wayfinder to dig more. You got a Ezekiel's Chariot. Another Cord. Okay. Go to combat. Smack face. Pass the turn. I think this is the best move. You still have the availability to Nightmare if he plays Greasefang. Since it's a Chariot in the yard, we kind of want to do it pre-combat before the trigger goes on the stack. Chumps. Now if he doesn't Greasefang, we'll just Cord for Magda. Plays a tap Courtyard. There's the Greasefang. Nightmare. Blips. Blooming Marsh is okay. So we can get Cord X3 for Magda, but that doesn't do anything. Hit you with a Goblin token. Pass the turn. Plays a boat. What do you hit with the boat? KebbieG? Okay, good. Cord X2. Get a Magda. That resolves. We're 1 short from getting a surprise Graaz. If we get Innkeeper, we win. Chariot. Alright, so X is 1 right now. Gets 2 treasures here. So I think I pay 1 here. And then tutor up a Colleen. Go to combat. Smack face. Now I could technically grab the Unlicensed Hearse, but we're here to Graaz. Hit you to 4, pass the turn. Got it. Now we're on the draw. I think we just run it back. We're good. Blooming Marsh for the opponent. Green mana. Stitcher Supplier. That's fine. So the question more is, do I play the Stomping Grounds untapped for the Sentinel? Or do I play tap land so I can get a 2-drop next turn? I think I do a 2-drop next turn. Especially with Colleen. I could at least leave up a Volley if all else fails. Overgrown Tomb, untapped. Hits my face for 1. We drew a Unstoppable Juggernaut. We'll play Colleen. Pass the turn. Grizzly Salvage. Parhelion's in the yard. He takes the Greasefang, I assume. Nope, he mills the Greasefang. So that tells me he already has one in hand. What did he take? There's the white source. Sure. Here comes Greasefang. So with Parhelion, we wait for the trigger to go on the stack. Pop it. Alright, so he gets Parhelion back. He passes the turn. Play the Rockfall Veil. We can Sentinel. This is the black source for the collected. So I think I want a Magda, actually. I was like, I should have probably played the Greeters, then the Sentinel. But yeah, it makes more sense to play the Magda. So I get a treasure this, I guess both ways I get a treasure. I guess either way, it's a good argument. Because this gets down first, Sentinel, you can make a treasure tapped. This, we're going to make a treasure by tapping the Magda. So, but I think we put him in a very awkward spot, right? Because he has a Chariot in the bin. Is that enough? Reform it to get back the Parhelion in the yard. Makes sense. You should have took this other Greasefang just for a backup. Temple Garden for the opponent. Now, I don't think I want to Collective Nightmare here. I'd rather save it for Greasefang itself. Even though I really want the treasure. Gala Greeters. Play a tap land. Pass the turn. Abrupt Decay is the Colleen. Sure. I'm not really using it. I am close to casting this Graaz. Evolution. Alright. Let's see what he does here. You should target a chariot this time. Because, I mean, then I totally get yanked out, right? Yep. That's the best move. Because now he still gets to attack. Alright. Gets frisky. With both. Sure, for 7. Down to 10. He has a blocker back. Is there any way that we can get this Graaz down and smack for most 15, right? So I guess that's not. All right, we can Graaz. See if that's enough. Graaz. This game life. I don't think the other two modes are really all that relevant. I guess we could get a hearse. That would be the other way we could use Magda. I still think I want to be at 10 life. So this gets frisky. We hit him to 11 because I assume he's not going to jump the cat. He could, but all right, takes it. Pass the turn. Evolution gets another Grease Fang. Of course, get back a Parhelion for the win. Yeah, I got it. Well, we came close. So 0-1. Let's get into the next. Gorge. Go. Another Blooming Marsh. The Golgari decks are big today. Forest. Galagreeters. Ague. Another Marsh. Innkeeper. I like it. It must be Tyvar Sack. Play the Death Gap. Gade. Fable. Make a treasure. Pass the turn. Oh, yeah, so this makes sense. And Tyvar Sack. Can't sack this and ping my threat, but does he do that? Okay. We will pitch away a Tomb. I don't think I need the Cord. I have this Magda, but then again, he has a Mayhem Devil, which is problematic. So I think I just do one. We have a green, red. So I think I put this on red. Play Chariot and create a treasure. Put a counter. You should sack that treasure in response, but he doesn't. And we just pass the turn. Next turn, if I draw a land, I could Fable plus Magda. Crew in the Magda, so that's pretty good. I think I need to go for the win next turn. How do I accomplish that? No attacks for the opponent. Green, whatever, green. Convoke X1. Grab Sentinel. Make a tap treasure. Untap. This flips. Create a tap treasure. Magda. Put a counter. Tap the Magda. Still nothing. Like, he should be doing it in response to that tap before I make the treasure. Now he's in an awkward position. I mean, he does get to get a bunch of Mayhem Devil triggers. Okay. So he's going to ping down my Galagreeters. And then my Magda. That's fine. And then the last one's face. Graaz. Crew. The Chariot. Go to combat. Smack face. Everything. Make a copy of the Shaman token. Alright, chumps here. Makes sense. Alright, trades. Chomps. You gonna sack him in response? Take 10? I mean, you have to sack that. I guess you could sack an Innkeeper. Pass the turn. Yep, wasted. Should've just went face with 2 damage. But we have a good board state. And this is also, I mean, Jund Sacrifice is a tier 2.5 deck. So, tier 2. So, it's a good deck. Alright, makes a bunch of dorks. He needs a lot, though, to go right. He just passes. We will say yes. Pitch a Blooming Marsh. I think I just make a copy of the Shaman token. I don't think a Chariot makes a lot of sense. Okay. I mean, you could sack 2 things, but it's not going to do enough to kill it. The Sage used the Graaz. Interesting. Yes, we will go digging. We will grab Overgrown Tomb. We'll grab a Swamp. Alright, so he sacks that, does that last point of damage, which is fine, because we made him kill a useless token over a reflection of KebbieG, which is good. It's good. Alright, so I think I Galagreeters first, and tap the Greeters, treasure. Alright, that's fine. Play another Zekia's Chariot. So I could technically deal block and block. So we still have 2 Cords and a Graaz. And, you know, about 3 more Magdas. So we do need to put this game away before he could drop down the big Corvold. Well, that's not a bad top deck. Kill the Mayhem Devil. Got it. Against Jund Sacrifice. I'm pretty sure this is like the bee's knees. Target a spell or ability. I'm pretty sure that's an ability. Heroic Intervention could do some work. Karn itself is not very great. It's more for the mid-range grindy matches. Maybe a Innkeeper. Kalane is just better because it has 2 toughness. Maybe a Stalwart. I don't like that. Pathway on green. Elf. Passes. Another non-red source. Play it. Tomb. Tapped. Yeah. This hand has a lot of gas though. If you draw any red sources. Sifter. Seems good. Another Forest. Greeters. Go. Gilded Goose for the opponent. He has 3 mana available, none of which is, I guess, yeah, none of which is red. So, no Mayhem Devil this turn. Another Elf. Overgrown Tomb tapped. I'm assuming gets frisky with both of these two. Sure, take it. Come on, give me a non-land or a red source. Not a red card. I did specify non-red. Play a land, pass the turn. We could technically cord for a 1-drop to allow us to tap for this Magda. Another Sifter. That's fine. He's definitely going wide. I'm just waiting for the day of our Bolas' Citadel. Here comes a Mayhem Devil. Goes to combat. Smacks face. Take it. Get Sentinel. Alright, so he goes ahead and he tries to ping my Greeters, which isn't that big of a deal. So, like, that's kind of a waste. He tops the card. So we get Sentinel. There's the red source. A little late to the party, though. Play a green source. Chariot. Pass the turn. Is this a Bolas' Citadel? That's strong. Plays a free elf. He gets a sacrifice for the Sifters. Ooh, that's a good top back for him. Plays a tap tomb. Alright, does he go after my threats or is he going to start going face? Like he should be. Still goes after my threats. Doesn't seem like the best use of his time, but sure. Alright, bottoms, and tops. So he found a card he wants. Innkeeper. That's fine. Collect a company. Okay. 2 Priests of the Forgotten Gods. Needs a Tyvar though. Alright, so he sacks. Yeah, that's lethal. I don't think I want a Stone Brain, so run back. Gorge. Stalwart. Gil. This hand looks pretty good, actually. So next turn we get to Greeters into Sentinel. Play that untapped. Greeters. Sentinel. Create a tap treasure. Pass the turn. This is like one of our better draws. Like next turn we get the Chariot for Priest of Forgotten Gods. Blooming Marsh. Tap the treasure. Chariot. So we put a counter and we create a treasure. Go to combat. Smack you with the Greeters pass the turn. A Blooming Marsh. Woe Strider. But making me sack a Stalwart isn't really good. Collective Nightmare. That's pretty decent. It's never a bad thing to draw a removal spell. Get rid of the Priest. Force you to do whatever you want with it now. Crew. Tap. No. Greeters, because I don't want to attack with Greeters and have it trade in combat with a Woe Strider. Go to combat. Smack face. Create a token copy of a cat. Put a treasure into play. See what he does. Probably block, sack. You trade with a cat. He does not. So he takes 4. He doesn't even sack it. Okay, pass the turn. Pathway on red. Another Woe Strider. It's pretty good. But I think I'm just too far on board state right now. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Play Fable. Keep this in hand for next turn. So put a counter on it. I think I tap. Yeah, tap. Go to combat. Swing out with the whole crew. Create another goblin token. And create a tap treasure. So he's probably going to trade with his Greeters. Does not. Just takes the rest of it. That's a lot of damage. Down to 5 past the turn. Plays a goose. Honk. Another Woe Strider. Heroic Intervention. I don't think I need this, but he scoops it up. 1-1. Let's get into the last game match. Overgrown Tomb. Untapped. Sentinel. Go. Vantage for the opponent. Passes. Put that on red. Kalane. I think I still go for it. I don't really need Nightmare this turn. Pass the turn. Next turn, I will probably cash this treasure in for this Karn. Worthy Knight. Sweet. Copperline Gorge. Karn. Create a 2/2. Pass the turn. This looks like Knights. Plays another Worthy Knight. Question is, does he attack into and tray with my Construct token to get this Karn? Okay, favorite champion. Do you attack this turn? Does not. We untap. Another Karn. Down tick Karn. Make a 3/3. Play another Karn. Keep the new one. Make a 4/4. Pass the turn. This is what Karn is meant to be doing. Bonus fails, I could sack this, make these 3/3s, and kill something if I have to, but I don't think it's necessary. History of Benalia makes a dork. No attacks for the opponent. We untap. We draw a Blooming Marsh, not really relevant. Make another Construct. Go to combat. Think this is where I start attacking aggressively. We can potentially blow them out in combat, so now's the turn to get a tempo in this match. Chumps. Takes 5. Kill a Worthy Knight. Pass the turn. Makes another dork. Got it. So in this matchup, I think we went Portal over a Graaz. He has a lot of white things, I'm pretty sure of it. So we could bring that in over, even though Karn really helped, maybe a Chariot, a Fable, a Chord. Why not like that? Plays a Knight. Passes. Play a tap land. Go. The Magda could help. Sacred Foundry tapped. Hits me. Down to 18. Stalwart. That would have been good last turn. Play a Marsh. So that means I am going to be playing Innkeeper. You. I don't want to use the treasure because I want to get to the portal. Plains. Plays Adeline. Attacks me, I assume. So he could put the counter on Adeline. Take it. Another Stalwart. That's kind of okay, I think. Maybe not. Magda. Agio. Circle of Loyalty. Goes to combat. Swings out with everything. Yeah, that seems good. So 8, 9, or 8 plus 4. Can I risk that? I can't risk these two. I would have to chump with Innkeeper. All right, smacks face. Down to 10. So I think I'd start off with Sentinel. I have all black, so that's fine. So tap here, play Karn, minus the Karn, pass the turn. Fervent Champion for the opponent. Tajik. That must be an honorary knight. And he looks like a knight without a horse. Goes to combat. How do you attack? Everything at face. Question is, am I dead? So 2, 5, 7. Yeah, I have to swap him in for that. I still might be dead. Yeah, I think I'd rather have more on the board at this point. He goes quite wide. Cut the Karns, run it like that. Overgrown Tomb, tapped, go. This can't get Adeline, so this is like when the few situations where Pylon is just a better card. So if you do pick up this deck, I highly recommend swapping these out for Pylons. 2-1, sure. We get to play Gorge and a Magda. Pass the turn. Plains, Worthy Knight. That is definitely worthy of a nightmare. Swings in at me. Sure, we take it. We'll just swing right back. But Seiju, that's not a bad, final land. Kill the Knight. Smack face. Pass the turn. Next turn we get Chariot. That makes 2 blockers. Play the Mountain. Adeline. Pretty good. Hits my face. Sure. Take it. Overgrown Tomb. Go to combat. Smack face. I'm assuming he's not going to block this. Alright. Takes it. Think I play Beseiju. I don't want to shock myself here. Play Chariot. Pass the turn. Dauntless Bodyguard for the opponent. For Adeline. Makes sense. Decoration in Stone. Tap them both down. Crew. We get a couple. We don't get. That's weird. We don't get any clues. Non-token creature acts out this way. Oh, cracked. Super cracked. Attacks with Adeline, I assume. Sure. So we get to block the human. Passes. Gala Greeters. Play a tap land. Gala Greeters. Pass the turn. Mountain. Favorite Champion. Come on, Dak. Hold. We need to be able to win this. Goes to combat. Attacks with everything. It pumps the vulnerable knight. Okay. So I need to kill here. Do we kill the bodyguard? And chump Adeline? So he sacks it. So that fizzles. So 5, 8, 9, 10, 11. So if I block here, take 5, 6, 7, 8. I think that makes the most long-term success. Go to 2. Put the counter on the Fervid champion. That's fine. So I can play Graaz this turn, but that's not going to be a winning line, because he makes another token. Stalwart. I'm just 1 mana off. If I had 1 more mana, I would be able to stabilize for another turn. So if I play this, right? Wait a minute. There is a way, right? So I Graaz, go to combat. I have to smack with the Magda. Do I stay alive with this? I don't think so. Stalwart. Yeah, I'm 1 creature short. Because he attacks out, I block, take 3. Man. That's fine. Like I said, I'm assuming he attacks out here. We're at 2, which is very, very low life total. Yeah, we seize the line, and we lose. Nothing I can do about that. I mean, I think most of the time we are probably going to win this matchup, but sometimes they do outrace us. Also, I'm not sure if this... We'll get into the wrap-up after this. 1 and 2 with the deck. Like, it shows promise. Like, you clearly see this deck can do stuff. So, 1 and 2, let's get into the wrap-up. Alright, so what did we learn this week about this deck? And I think the big takeaway is definitely, I think if this was a pile-on, you might have been able to get that last matchup. I guess maybe it doesn't change much. It definitely would have targeted the Adeline, force him to sack his thing, and we still would have gotten a Surveil 2, which would have helped us, make sure we hit something we actively want. But the mana base worked out quite well. We didn't really ever have mana issues, except that one time where we just didn't have a red source until later in the game. But we still managed to catch our stuff. Fable the Mirror Breaker, of course, is just a really strong card. So there's a lot going on in this deck. If you guys have any suggestions at all, let me know down in the comments. And if you guys like this kind of content, like I said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this content if you want. And until next time, we're having another sweet deck tomorrow. So this week I'm going to try to do Gates, which has the Witch package. I'm going to try it out. And I also want to try Abzan Dread Presence, because Elspeth in the new Battle for Zendikar actually makes a lot of sense together. Getting 4 lands for 4 mana is pretty strong with Dread Presence, so I think that could be a potential deck that could come into Pioneer. And then, of course, lastly, I'm going to be playing some Heart and Scales this week. So if you like that kind of stuff, make sure you sub, and I'll talk to you guys soon.